My girlfriend and father last week set me down to tell me they had a week-long affair a couple months ago. And after the third time they say, they both felt extremely guilty and mortified at their actions. They've been wanting to tell me since then, but didn't have the hearts. I always knew they got on well, they bonded over many shared interests. But I never saw this coming. I feel completely sick. I haven't eaten hardly anything since, they told me. I haven't officially broken up with her yet, but it is obvious as I haven't responded to any of the calls she sent. When they first told me and after it had sank in, I left and haven't said a word to anyone outside of work since. I've been a total ghost to my whole family. My dad and I are very close. For my whole life I have looked up to him. He and my mom divorced when I was a teenager, but they have been very friendly to each other, which made the process so much easier. I want to forgive my dad. But if my girlfriend had cheated on me with another person, I would easily cut them both off. And in a weird way my dad has hurt me, so much more by doing this than I could get over a cheating girlfriend. But my relationship with my father, a relationship I cherished, is destroyed. And it's his fault. My question is this: should I forgive my father? How can I forgive him? Should I tell my mom or brother? Would I be cruel for completely cutting him off, which is what my heart is telling me to do? My girlfriend and dad hadn't 3 times and felt. They told me I have received several PMs asking me to update. A bit has happened since then, but I will try to be brief to avoid a wall of boring text. So I told my mom and brother like everyone suggested. My mom was heartbroken, and we talked for a few hours. She told me she was not surprised. When they were married she suspected him of having inappropriate contact with students. My dad is a handsome man. She told me many girls would give him that kind of attention. She did not know if he was unfaithful for certain though. My brother took it as I expected. He blamed my ex and told me I should date less slutty women. I feel like this is missing the point, but whatever. I can't stand that guy anyway. For the following week after I dumped my ex, she would call and text me. The gist was basically she loved me, and I should forgive her, because she made a mistake but hates herself for it. She told me it was just a fair and that she wanted to fulfill her fantasy of having relation with an older male teacher before we got married. I didn't respond to any of these messages or return her calls. I hadn't heard from my dad until a few days ago when he came. He let himself in as he has a key and we talked. He told me about how the affair started with them flirting a little. Eventually they had relationship, only the last time was actual penetrative. The first 2 she just blew him apparently and he fingered her. He told me this like I was going to be relieved they only did it once. In reality I was horrified that now a detailed picture was in my mind. I asked him if he had been in contact with my ex. He said yes and that they have had dinner a few times as friends because he was worried about her. According to my ex, I was emotionally torturing her, and my dad believes he is responsible for her. I told him I would not have a relationship with him ever if he kept in contact. He said I was his son and that he would be in my life regardless. I just held my tongue. He then told me it was shitty to tell my mom and brother like I was trying to ruin his reputation. I was done so I just nodded and apologized. I know that was cowardly, but I didn't want an argument. That was a few days ago. I haven't told anyone else other than my immediate family. I still don't know whether to totally cut contact with my dad. Part of me does, part of me doesn't. Told my family, broke up with my GF, dad came over to reconcile. I still don't know what to do. People are concerned with me apologizing. I do not actually feel remorse. I told him that because it is what he wanted to hear and I wanted him to leave. At that point I was just nodding along to avoid an argument and him potentially staying longer. Also I should have asked for the key, but like someone said here it is difficult for me to face him, so I admit I wasn't thinking straight.